So depression is curable, and I'm going to tell you how you can cure it. But the idea that your depression is a chemical imbalance is a mischaracterization that was made popular by drug companies, especially in the 90s. However, that mischaracterization contains some truths, but doesn't give you the full picture of the issue. Chemicals, of course, are involved in all of our emotions and our feelings. There are hormones, there are chemicals in our bloodstream that we're feeling, along with electrical impulses in our way of perceiving what they mean that lead us to feel emotions. But if we break down the components of what leads you to get the chemicals, then you realize that your depression is not just a chemical imbalance, because your chemicals can change. And yes, what I'm showing you even works when your depression is not situational, but it's generalized depression, and it's chronic, and you've had it, and you have wondered and struggled, and you've been on medication. What I'm telling you here can work. It doesn't matter how long you've had your depression or how many generations depression has been in the family. It always will break down to two components. Number one, the first component is that there's something in your reality you perceive to be unacceptable. There's something in your reality that you perceive to be unacceptable. The second component is that you feel powerless to change it. When you combine those two components, your body gives you the sensations we associate with depression, and then you will experience the symptoms of depression, no longer feeling joy or excitement toward things that you used to feel excited toward, feeling down, feeling persistent sadness, and the list goes on. But look for these two components. Ask yourself, what in my reality do I view as unacceptable? And do I feel powerless to change it? And sometimes it is something that we can't change. But if we attack it from this level, a very quick thing you can do is write down on a piece of paper why this could be seen as acceptable. What is acceptable about this thing? And this is a different way of looking at it than the way you would normally come about it, because you're so sure that to you, this situation is unacceptable. And you're not wrong, but that's according to your values. However, in many situations, not all, but in many situations, there's another perspective. There's a different angle we can look at it from. And that's asking ourselves the question, why is this acceptable? Why could it be acceptable? What is a way that I could look at it to see this as acceptable? Or what is acceptable about this? Even if it's just viewing it from the standpoint now of, why not me? If other people have to go through this, why not me? Instead of asking, why me? That's enough to get you started. And then write down that new perspective on the situation, why it could be seen as acceptable. And then what I want you to do is to get into powerfulness, or understanding your personal power, instead of powerlessness, which is learned helplessness. And you're going to ask yourself, what can I do? Not what can't I do and why can't I? Don't ask that. The question is, what can I do? And then write that down on a piece of paper, what you can do about the situation. As you start to embrace what is in your power to do, and then you start to take action on the things that you can do. Some of the things we do could potentially change the situation, but some of the things we can do are not going to have an immediate direct impact on the situation, but it's still something we can do. There's always something you can do. There's always something you can do. And so even if you refuse to see any aspect of your situation as acceptable, or to see anything, find anything that's acceptable about it, you can always do something. Not necessarily to change the situation, but there's something you can focus on. You can focus on your purpose. You can focus on your dream, your goal. And you can build to have something to show for the time that's going to pass no matter what. So that your suffering is not in vain, because you will suffer regardless. So you might as well have something to show for it. And as you start working on something, you start to notice that your depression will lower. In fact, even just doing this exercise, you might notice your symptoms get lower. If you'd like to learn a technique where you can lower your depression in 5 to 15 minutes, you can find that on my YouTube. Just type in my name, Roman Zanoni, cure depression or something like that in 15 minutes, and then it'll come up in the search results. Watch the video, and I'm going to show you something called the JOT method, which is a journaling technique you use. It doesn't take long. The video itself is only around 15 minutes, and then you use it and you can experience relief. And I want to share this with you so that you can get relief from your suffering, a little less pain in your life, because we all have to suffer somewhat, but if we can eliminate some of the extra unnecessary suffering, it's worthwhile, isn't it? So go ahead and share this with someone else, because the internet has allowed us to get information out there for free. And we no longer have to sit in darkness and just let corporations feed us what they want us to know. As individuals, we can share our knowledge, and I'm sharing this piece of knowledge with you. I'm sharing the truth with you. And yes, this applies to your depression too. So don't write in the comments about how it's not going to work for you. Try it first. Try it first. And then you can tell us that it didn't work if it didn't. But I have a feeling you won't have that experience.